Hey, what's going on, gamers? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Porter Rock 77, and I'm back trying to give y'all another video. It's been long overdue. I had a video live stream a couple of days ago as a welcome back. As you know, I've been away for a minute, and now I'm back. So I want to get to it. I don't want to be too long. I'm trying to do quick videos. You know, this is another one of those Porter's Point and stuff like that. But I want to give a recap on what I feel about E3. I wasn't able to do a post E3 video or have a post E3, 60 Frames No Like podcast because I was away on business. I was away in Scotland for about 3 weeks. Beautiful country. I enjoyed my time out there. Great training and great people, great city. It was just a fantastic time. But now I'm back to discuss gaming topics with you guys. I really missed you guys. I really miss being able to have my podcast and interact with the community. You guys are great, awesome subscribers and stuff. And if you're a new subscriber, if you're checking out this video for the first time, check out a little bit of my content in the past, catch up a little bit, and check you out every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern for my 60 Frames No Lag podcast. And I hope to see you there. But for now, what I want to talk about is the topic of E3 and how I felt about E3. Now, I'm not going to recap everything that happened at E3 because most of us already know. Other channels have already discussed it. I just want to give you my feeling of how I felt about the overall E3 experience. Now, there is a little caveat that I want to say. The only E3 presentation that I saw live, actually I saw live, was the Microsoft one because I was still here. I saw that one live. The Sony one I saw on the back end because I was already traveling at that point. So all the other E3s I saw recorded. All right, but I did see them. All right, and we already saw the information in the games and stuff like that. So this is just mostly my opinion over the E3 experience. And in my opinion, it was lukewarm for me. Major reason, especially from Sony and Microsoft. And this is just my expectation. When I look at a E3 conference for Sony and Microsoft, or from a first party developer, I expect big information, big blocks of information pertaining to the platform from their perspective. Of course, we're always going to get, big third party games and stuff like that, multi-plat games and stuff like that. And it's cool. Like the Anthem footage we saw, Metro, we saw Monster Hunter on the PlayStation. So yeah, we get that. Call of Duty, all that stuff. We get that. That's all, I get that. And it's important that we see those games that are coming, not knocking those. And I also get they're going to re-show games that we already known about. So we saw the Crackdown, the Sea of Thieves, State of Decay. And on a Sony conference, we saw Spider-Man, God of War, Days Gone. So yeah, it makes sense that we're going to see games that we already known about. They want to update and refresh the stuff. But for being a such big event, each party has to show something new to grow their first party. You know what I'm saying? To show the future. Let me talk about Sony real quick. Last year, we had pretty much a lot of the same games. We had Days Gone. They showed God of War last year. We showed Spider-Man last year. They also showed Horizon Zero Dawn last year, right? Well, now this year, they showed Horizon Zero Dawn, the DLC, but the main game they didn't show, obviously, because it's already out. So what took its place? See what I'm saying? It should have been another big triple A IP, instead of Sony. Because as the year goes by, the games they showed this year, like for example, next year Sony announced that God of War will be a 2018 game and Spider-Man will be a 2018 game. So that's two games we might see before the next E3. So what games are we going to see that replaces them in the next E3? You see what I'm saying? So it's a continuous cycle, And I know some people would be like, well, Sony can't show us new games every single year. But when you think about it, these games have been in development 2-3 years, right? 2, 3, maybe even 4 years. So by the time these games comes out, it's been 4 years. That's enough time to show a new game. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like a leapfrog concept. When a 3-4 year game comes out, you introduce another game that's been in development for 3-4 years. And apparently, Sucker Punch apparently has a game, but for some reason Sony didn't show it. I don't know if they pulled. Rumor has it they pulled it out last minute. Maybe they're gonna show at PSX. And I get, Sony has the PSX game comms, but if you don't show big games at E3, then what's the point of showing up at E3? Because a lot of things I saw in most of these conferences are things I could have seen on YouTube. They could have just tweeted out, check out this, check out that, and stuff what I'm saying. So like for the E3 conference, for the Sony E3 conference, I get it. You know, a lot of the games got hype. You know, more gameplay, more footage, like Detroit and stuff like that. And it's good that they bring awareness. But this is E3. You know what I mean? Not just an update on a YouTube channel or streaming or a Nintendo Treehouse. So Sony could have easily done most of the stuff they showed on E3 on another smaller venue, or even just pull out a tweet. Hey, check out the latest Spider-Man gameplay. Hey, check out the latest Detroit gameplay. And I know people are going to be big on, oh, but you know, we got to get the information out there. People got to know. Well, people got to know with advertisements and good media marketing, you know? And reviewers are going to constantly review this game. They're going to review preview builds. So we're going to get the information out there. But this is more like the Super Bowl of gaming, and you got to go big, you know? I mean, look at it like the Super Bowl. Look at it like football, American football, right? You don't see a 30-minute conference, a 30-minute concert from Beyonce every single regular season game in the NFL. You know, when the football season starts, every Sunday doesn't have a 30-minute halftime show. Why? Because it's not the Super Bowl. It's a regular season game. But when you do the Super Bowl, it's a big deal. You understand what I'm saying? Looking at my phone, I apologize. You know what I'm saying? You have to do things different. E3 is the Super Bowl. You know? Oh, man, what are we doing here? Oh, you heard that? The Xbox sound and shit? Yo, I think Phil Spencer's trying to take over my podcast. He's hacking. Microsoft is hacking me. You know, anyway. But so that's my thing. As far as the Microsoft conference also, again, it just didn't impress me as big, you know. Good on Microsoft for a couple of things, you know, showing more interest in indies and being a diverse lineup of IPs, smaller IPs and stuff like that. A lot of indies, a lot of small developed games. Good on them. That's real good. I'll give them that. For those who are interested in the One X, I think it was a good show for you guys. You know, for you guys that want to buy a console with powerful hardware so you could get amazing looking games, I can see why you guys are excited for that. You know what I'm saying? But for a guy like me who's not going to get the One X, that's planning to get the Xbox One S, the show didn't really do much for me. I saw a few smaller titles, you know, okay, and stuff like that. Nothing wrong with those smaller titles. You understand what I'm saying? But when I get the Xbox One S, there has to be a balance between my preferred platform, the PlayStation 4, and what I play on the Xbox One S, you know? So all those smaller titles that Xbox show, you know, if that's your preferred platform, then yeah, you're going to enjoy those titles. And if I get the opportunity to play those games, I'll play those games. But the key word that I just told you is opportunity. Because if those smaller titles come out around the same time Sony comes out with Spider-Man or God of War or Days Gone or Detroit, I'm not going to be playing those smaller titles. Those titles, I won't look at them because I got big blockbuster titles that I want to play. You know what I'm saying? And that was my thing about the Xbox conference. They didn't have big blockbuster titles that I didn't know about. I already knew about Crackdown. I knew about Sea of Thieves. Obviously, Forza is going to be in every E3. You really don't need an E3 at this point to know that that Xbox is going to have Forza Horizon 4 next year in 2018. And you don't need an E3 to know you're going to have a Forza 8 in 2019. You don't need an E3 no more for any of that. You don't even need you could just see a YouTube video at this point, you know? But I already knew about Crackdown, knew about Cuphead, I knew about State of Decay, I knew about Sea of Thieves. I already knew. In fact, I already know which games I'm going to get. I didn't need an E3 to make a decision. You know, with the Xbox One S, I'm going to play Crackdown, I'm going to play Cuphead, I'm going to play State of Decay. I'm not interested in Sea of Thieves. And I'm not interested in racing games. So I don't care about any Forza announcement. Not saying that they shouldn't have them, because there's lots of people that love racing games and Forza and stuff like that. All right? But I'm not going to give E3 props for showing another Forza game. That's pretty much a given at this point. You know? It's kind of like, that's why you don't see a lot of big, that's why you don't see MLB or any big shows that shows MLB that much, because it's pretty much a given. You know, Sony hypes their MLB on their channel because it's a given. You're going to see it every year. You don't need to put it live on stage. It's pretty much a given. So that's my thing. A lot of things that Microsoft had was a given. I hear a lot of rumors that Microsoft won. Some people saying Sony won. I don't think anybody won. If anyone to me had the best E3 conference was Ubisoft, because they had a lot of good content, a lot of good games on that one in terms of that. But as far as Microsoft Sony, it was just passable. They both cut the mustard in a way. But there was nothing awe-inspiring, like, oh my God, this is an amazing event between the two. It really wasn't. Those two, they didn't really have a super big, amazing event, you know. One of the props I think people are giving Microsoft over the Sony press conference is that a lot of the games shown on the Microsoft E3 are games that you're going to be able to play from now to the next E3. And everybody's like, see, and that's what they like. You know, that's what they like to see. They like to see games at E3 that they're going to play within a year. Here's my problem with that statement, though. The games that you guys are going to play about, you know, within the year, we already knew for the last 2-3 years, though. It's not like this Microsoft E3 unveiled Crackdown. We already knew Crackdown was coming because that game was unveiled in 2014. We already knew about Sea of Thieves since 2015. We knew about Cuphead in 2015. We knew about State of Decay last year. And it's coming out next year. So we already knew about these games. So when people saying, oh, all the games Microsoft showed this E3 are we going to play, you know, over the next year, that's why this E3 is great. You didn't need a Microsoft E3 to know the games you're playing this year because we already knew about that. So I don't understand that conversation and stuff. You know, I really don't get it. The games that you're going to play this year that's going to be available Xbox One S have been, or One X has been announced over the last 2-3 years. They're all, you know, they're nothing new, Microsoft. And that's my main concern. That was my main drag for the Microsoft conference. Just like the Sony conference. No first-party big AAA announcement. And that's what these companies need to do. I mean, granted, some people say I shouldn't be hard on Sony, but I'm sorry. I'm not going to let off the pedal on the gas, you know. If you're ahead in a race, if you're in a race, right, because you're ahead, you're going to slow down on purpose? You're going to be like, I could take a break? No. You maintain the momentum or you go faster if you can. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to be lighthearted on Sony because it's an E3. Now, I would be even more mad. Now, keep in mind, I didn't see the Sony E3 press conference live. You know, I saw it recorded, so I got to see it on my own time, on my own terms. But let's say if I were to see it when it was properly shown, on the East Coast, it would have been 9 p.m. at night. You know, 9 p.m. Eastern, you know, as if there's a 9 p.m. in the day, right? But 9 p.m., right? If I would have scheduled my time on that day to see the Sony conference, and after an hour of my time I see that, I would be fucking pissed. I'm sorry, excuse my language, but I would be upset. Because that would have been a waste of my time. At least the Sony conference, I was able to, you know, stop it, pause it. I couldn't even see the whole conference in one shot. I'll be honest. You know, I saw maybe 15, 20 minutes. I paused it, did a couple of things. So another 15, 20 minutes, paused it. And, you know, I couldn't go through it. Because there was a lot of stuff I was like, you know, it just wasn't appealing to me. But if I would have been stuck in a chair, just what, and I probably would have streamed it live. So I would have definitely had to stay watching it for the whole hour. I would have been really upset. I would have been like, I didn't really need to watch this show. You know what I'm saying? And that's what really my thing is, you know. So to me, overall, the E3 conferences was passable at best. It wasn't all breaking and stuff like that. I'm not even going to give it a letter grade because to me, it doesn't deserve a little grade. It was just passable at best, you know. And I don't know why, especially compared to last year. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on. But I guess at the end, it is what it is. At the end, everybody's going to get something for their own community, what they want. Xbox community is going to get the most powerful console available. You're going to get your 4K. You're going to spend your money on your TVs and your console and HDR. You're going to get all these great experiences. On the PlayStation side, we're going to get our games, and we're going to get some of the best games being developed in the industry. You know what I'm saying? And you can only get on PlayStation. So everybody's going to get something of what they want in particular. The little pitter-patter console wars, you know, that's all love. That's all, you know, brotherly, sisterly love. People are just talking shit. I think some of you's taking it way too personal, in my opinion. You're taking the console war way too personal. Way, way, way too personal. Like, it really hurts you guys. You guys, like, over the last 2 weeks, you know, because I've been popping shit, you know, on Twitter. And some people respond, like, hurt, bro. And like, I could actually feel the hurt in your responses. And it's just weird, bro. Like, don't be mad at other people's opinions and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? If anything, if you're going to be mad at anything, be mad at people who lie, not the people who criticize a platform. If you criticize Sony, you know, Microsoft or PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, if you got valid criticisms, you know, it is what it is. It's people's opinion, you know? But what's funny is when you have a valid criticism, everybody gets upset. But yet, some of the people they support just straight out lie and make up shit, and they say nothing. They leave the liars say the lies, and sometimes they defend them. You know, sometimes they defend them, but like, well, if you don't like to hear what they say, why are you listening to them? Because it's a fucking lie. It shouldn't matter if you're listening to them or not. Why are you listening to liars for? And they say nothing. But if you bring up a valid criticism, it's a fucking problem in this. I would say that's the only thing that's weird. That's just weird how liars could get to say whatever the hell they want, but people with valid criticisms and comments, they get fucking blasted or something like that. It's just anyway, that's just my perception. But anyway, this is a short video. I hope you enjoyed it. Check me out again on Wednesdays. I'll probably drop another video here and there, 10, 15 minutes quick, maybe even shorter. I'll probably drop a video later on talking about the PlayStation 5 and stuff like that, because there's already talk about it. And I want to give you my opinion on how I feel with Sony saying they don't believe in going away from generational consoles, and I agree with that. But we'll talk about that another time. All right, people. Anyway, you take care. Enjoy your time with your friends and family, and especially enjoy your time gaming on whatever platform you enjoy gaming on. All right, you take care, people. Peace.